morning.
Good morning to you, sir. And when I say that I'm ready, it means I'm not really ready.
Okay, got it.
It's the simple things that just flummox me. Like I got okay, this is all set up. I'm ready to record. I've done my little bump. Okay. Oh yeah, I've got to set up a Vassal room. That's kind of important. Ah, I just heard you sipping your
That's right.
coffee. I've got mine here too.
Yep, got my coffee and got my little projects on hold here for a couple
Oh,
hours,
that's
so we're ready to
good.
go, I think.
Good. Well, I'm looking over the state of the board here, and I'm not one to be negative Nancy, but this is a pretty tough row at the moment because of, we could talk strategy, of course, at the end, but that Harper's Ferry, that's a chunk of points in the way they want you to do it with the
Oh,
surrender.
yes.
So by just blustering your way in there, you don't get all those points. So that's a lot of negativity against you that I do not have at the moment. So that's going to be a factor. First of all, let's welcome everybody. Hello, and welcome to part 4 of Three Cigars. I'm Patrick, that's Roger, and theoretically, these are the last couple of turns for this replay of Scenario 4. And we welcome you. We hope you've enjoyed it thus far, and we've kept you riveted to your seats. This should be the wrap up for this, one way or another. I have a pretty good feeling. I'm gonna point to the right field stands, and I think I can kind of call this one because I've played Roger now 2 years, and I have a pretty good idea of how his mind works. But we do need to address a correction right off the top. I caught it in post because I actually looked up the rule during post, and that has to do with Sim's retreat priority when he was attacked and surrounded by Franklin for that first attack down there in Crampton's Brownsville or Crampton's one or the other. I said, well, retreat path 5, that's the highest priority. I can go either way because both of them would have gone through a unit. And of course, when I checked, I had a niggling little fear that I was wrong about that because I'm always wrong about that right off the top. You guys know it, you've seen it. But sure enough, as I was going through and editing it, I pulled up my series rules, and it is there, clear as day. Ba 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 ba. You go through a unit. Okay, I did that right, and then the very last sentence in parentheses says, but not toward the active attacker. And I was like, oh! And yes, Franklin was the active attacker, so I did not have the option to go back into Pleasant Valley toward the safety of the Confederate lines. I would have had to have gone out towards Quebec Schoolhouse here or Burkittsville, whichever one it was, and then he would be stranded out there at the mercy of the approaching porter and all that. So I think what we should, and I will put it to you, Roger, because it's been a couple of turns now, and he is now outside of Antietam and in a defensive posture. He's reconstituted and everything. Would you like him to stay there and we just say, I screwed up? Which I don't like to do for something of this magnitude with when we're playing this for people. Or would you like me to just move him over somewhere east of the South Mountain Range?
I don't have any problem with him staying put.
As you even described it, it's like I'm making a mad rush. I'm bull rushing in retreat toward the active unit, and that goes against all logic because they would not do that. They would go away from the bullets. That is where Sims and I made our little error. Well, yeah, if I was doing the retreat path, and I think it was a small R, so he would have had to come out here and then just to here, and I would have probably taken him a couple more. So he'd be sitting out here, and then in the following turn, I did not move him at all so that he could uh,
Constitute
reconstitute.
cover.
Right. So he would be somewhere in this range here, um, and then I could just have him sitting there, and we could just take it from that. That would be the easy solution. And then if
Okay.
you
If you'd rather do that, that's fine. I'm okay with him staying
for
there.
correction purposes, I would like to do that just so people can see
Okay.
that we are doing it. So I'm going to move Sems out here, and he is again at the
Okay.
mercy of if you want to come and get some points on him because the fifth core's a coming. But he also has some options there for I don't know what I'm going to do with him, and that also makes things a little more precarious on that southern flank of outside of Sharpsburg. But anyway, that was the big correction. I didn't see anything
Hmm.
else. We didn't have any feedback from anyone, and we appreciate all of those notes that you guys say. Holger, that was a wonderful strategic observation. But what are your thoughts here as we approach turns 5 and 6? People seem to like our analysis on the fly.
Well, yeah, I'm feeling. I had a chance to take a look at this in a little more detail yesterday. I got back from Shiloh Thursday and took Friday off, and so rested. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Just looking at it, I was a little concerned. I went through the victory point conditions again. I thought I had to be within one hex of Sharpsburg, but I just had to be within two to get rid of those negative 12 points, and that's going to put me in the positive, which is all I need to do to get a marginal. And I'm in good shape to kind of cut off Jones and Hood to the north. So yeah, not getting the surrender at Harper's Ferry turned out to be pretty crucial for me.
Like I said, we can discuss it in more detail at the wrap up. But I really feel in the wording of that and the whole points that are assigned to quote the surrender of Harper's Ferry, they are forcing the script that they want Jackson to be patient and
Yep.
and hold the line, surround it, and accumulate his modifiers, and just keep rolling and rolling and rolling, and not just blunt force hammer his way in there, because then you're going to get at least. I think in our first game it was 16 manpower and divided in half. That was 8, but it's a chunk of points. And when the margin here is 0, then if I was playing this again, I would have waited. But that's all in the
Well,
past.
at the same time, you've got to get the Harper's Ferry Confederate units up north to Sharpsburg
Exactly.
because that's the other big piece. I mean, so it really is
It's a game of chicken. You have
it's a game of chicken.
you
Yeah,
have really turn 2, 3, and maybe 4. And if you haven't gotten it by 5, you either have to make that decision to go in there with force or pull off and let them have it, because it's only 4 victory points. But I think at the end, you get positive points if you're holding Harper's Ferry, right? Yes,
yeah.
you get 8. So that is a 12-point swing right there, possibly 2. Um, so it is a very bedeviling victory point total for that. So I have not figured out that part of the puzzle here. And for those of you who have played this, I know Alberto. I've seen him on Twitter right now. He's playing this face to face. So if anybody wants to comment on your previous experience and playtesters and whatnot with Three Cigars, obviously the variant is going to considerably change everybody's game from play to play. But
Oh,
overall,
yeah.
I would be curious to hear what people do with the Harper's Ferry question. Right? What do you do? What do you do? So, uh, well, with that being said, with all of that bluster out of the way, I think we are ready for our leader transfers for the next turn. So, if you would like to make any of those decisions, feel free.
Yeah, I'm going to bring McClellan. Let's put him in the center with Reno. Don't know if that's where he should be, but that's where I'm going to put him. And I'm going to bring Franklin. He's going to join Smith. And that's all I'm going to do. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do.
Okay. I think my leaders are where they need to stay. Jackson is still facing down Sumner out there in the high ground. I'm not going to move Stewart because he's still facing off against the lurking Pleasanton up there. And Lee and Longstreet, well, I'll just leave them there because they're in range of everybody. So nothing for me.
Okay.
Do we have any attachments that you'd like to do?
I don't believe I have any,
Okay.
no.
The Sims and Sub One was the only one I think I had. Actually, I'm gonna have Anderson suck up Kershaw and make him a 7-2. There we go. Okay. And everybody else is good. Let's see if I've got Effley and Mumford. I could, I guess, bring Munford into Effley since it's not a Union cavalry, right? I think that was the only
Mm-hmm.
restriction. Um,
Yeah.
and he would be stout then. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring Munford into Effley. Make him an F3-1 or 3-2. since they're both disorganized, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so those are my attachments. I think it's just time for the big and it. So let me wish you good luck here in the turn 5, and we'll see how it goes.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. And here we go.
Here we go.
Here's my
Here's my roll.
5
5.
and a 2. Off you go.
Sumner will activate Richardson, Sedgwick, and French. Here's their movement. Okay. Well, sir.
Moving right along.
Okay, so we'll take Richardson will go. Sumner will go with Richardson to 28-14. Sedgwick will join them, and French will go to Elk Ridge. And that'll be the turn. So here's my initiative. 2.
That's my initiative. Ugh.
Okay.
It's going to be a really short session, I think.
Okay. Sumner will attempt an assault on Anderson with both of his units. Sedgwick and here's the attempt. To 4 minus 6. They both come in. So I believe we're going to go. Sumner's just going to go in with Richardson and Sedgwick. So starting over, let's see, the type is a +1. The ratio is 21-7 for a +2. Artillery, I've got 5 guns to your 2 on a hill. Is +3, so there's no effect. We're attacking hill to hill, so it's a +0, so there's no terrain.
Right.
And the final flank, the +2, because I have 5 hexes covered. 27-16 is not covered. So we've got 5 up and none down for a +5 final.
Okay. And now I'm really well. I'm happy that if things were even worse, I'm glad that I merged these into one so that I wouldn't get double retreat loss if that were the case. But I think I'll be okay on a retreat. But hopefully,
yeah,
it will be okay.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the attack roll. Oh,
so the world is turning.
6.
Can I get a 6? I get a 5.
Close enough.
That's a +1, isn't it?
+1.
Okay. 1 on 21.
So I take a 2D.
2D. Wow. And I'm a 7, and I get just a D. Wowzers. There's some fortune change.
I'll take 1 up each one.
Okay, so let's.
Well, should have tried the grand assault.
Oh, he would have said no anyway. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, and a flip. Okay.
And a manpower. Took a manpower off of each one. And he picks up 3 fatigues. So they're both done for the day. And they're disorganized. Well, that's disappointing, to say the least.
Good old Anderson. Hold that pass.
Yeah. Changes what I was going to try to do. Init 4.
I also get a 4.
That's
okay,
yours.
Let's get Anderson out of there. Let's use his last fatigue and get him out of a precarious situation. Here's his movement of +1. Ooh, 7. Okay. So he can go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Yeah, let's keep him there. He's got the option. He can get out if he needs to. All right, and it. 1.
5. Okay, that's mine. Let's bring Franklin. We'll activate all 3 of his units. Here's their movement 1 die +1. They can go 6 hexes. So Franklin is going to stay with Smith. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Slocum's going to go next. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. Couch is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. Okay, initiative 2.
2 also.
2, that's yours.
The noose is closing. How do you solve a problem like Franklin? I guess this may be the time for a spoiler attack. Keep Franklin from moving. Probably not the wisest choice at the moment, but I don't have a lot of options here. So Jackson will tap Lawton for an assault on Franklin, and Smith across that creek. So let's see if we can trade some manpower loss here. Here's the assault attempt. It comes off. So here's what I got. I got +1 for the assault, +1 for tactical, +1 because Jackson's there. Get a nice little bonus for that. Let's see, I've got 3 guns to your 3 guns in a hill, so that's 0 in a hill is -1 maybe. So if you'd like to roll a die.
Okay.
And they are
Nope,
not used.
not used.
Okay. So it's -1 for the creek and -1 for ratio of 7 to 13. So I see 3 up and 2 down for a +1.
Yep.
Okay, so here is a +1 from Jackson. It is. Come on, 1. Oh, okay.
A 4.
So -2.
That's
-2. -2.
13.
-2 on 7. So it's a
fatigue.
Yes, and it's 2D for me, so I gave those right back to you. That's unfortunate. I think I may have just choked the game away there. So 1, 2 for that. Flip. 1, 2, 3. I will give you those losses. That was. Sometimes blunting attacks are working, and sometimes they are not working. And today they did not work. So there you go. All right, initiative 5.
5. Yours again.
Okay, we'll bring Dr. Jones to fatigue level 2. Here's his movement. 6. So he will get an extended march. It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. Initiative 3.
1. Yours again.
This time we'll have Longstreet activate Dr. Jones to 3. Here's his movement +2. 6. Extended march of +1. He loses the manpower. No effect. Alright, and they are going to transfer and go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. Initiative 2.
3.
Right, off you go.
Reno will activate Wilcox, Sturgis, Cox, and Rodman. So here's their movement. 1 die +1. And go 4. I'll start with Wilcox, McClellan, and Reno will go with him. 1, 2, 3. Sturgis. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're now at 13. Which means it's going to cost 2 additional to move into that hex. Cox go 1, 2. Rodman will just go hex to there. Initiative 4.
3.
Reno will activate the same 4 guys. Actually, Sturgis will go first, and Reno and McClellan will go with him. They're just going to go there. Oh, I should roll for movement. It's a 7. Does that change what I want to do? Not particularly. I'll do a mid-move to there. Wilcox will go there. Rodman and Cox will do a mid-move to there. Initiative 6. Oh.
Also 6. Okay. Well, sir. Alright. We'll play the initiative game here. Activate sub 1 with Longstreet. Here's his movement. Yeah. So we'll go there. Initiative 4.
4. Yours again.
All right. So Dr. Jones will be tapped for an assault on Wilcox. Let's see if it comes off. It does. Okay, so we got +1 assault, +2 tactical, +1 for Lee. We're going to attempt a grand assault with Lee. It comes off, so we'll bring in sub 1. So we're now even on manpower. And I've got -1 for artillery, and I've got 6 hexes covered, and 2 of them are going to come off for +2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so +2 final flank. So 3, 6, 6 up, 1 down.
+5 final.
It's like assault, tactical, Lee, final flank, minus artillery. So here is a +5 attack. 2.
5.
So it's a +2.
+2. Okay. +2 on a 7 is a 1 DR. Me.
And it's a 1 DA for me.
So he's done for the day. Uses manpower.
So we each take 1.
He goes to disorganization. It's a small R. 2 to 4 hexes. So you attacked from Jones, so you can go further away.
Yep.
By road. Further away by road. Could stop there. I think I would have him continue to there, and that's where he'll stop.
Okay. Initiative. 2.
Taking the hex.
No, I'm not taking the hex. No.
Okay.
So yeah, I rolled a 2 on my init.
Okay. 6. And daily dollar tad short. That's right. Okay, Reno is going to attempt an assault on Lawton and Jackson with Sturgis. Here's the attempt. Does not come off.
Tension.
Unit 3.
4.
It's yours.
Let's get Hood moving. So Hood will go to fatigue level 1. Here's his movement +1. 3. 1, 2, and 3. Initiative. 2.
1. Yours again.
Hood again. Here's his
I should have blocked that route.
movement +1. 5. Extended march. He's okay. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Initiative. 4.
4. Yours again.
I'll have Stuart activate the cavalry here. Here is their movement +3. Ah, come on. Geez, Stuart. Alright. It's a 6 total. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 to there. Actually, did I? Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. Right. Initiative. 6.
1. Yours again.
Longstreet will activate Hood to fatigue level 3. Here's his movement +2. 8. Here's his extended march +1. He's okay. He will transfer to him, but I'll just move him around first. He's going to go 1, 2. I'll go there. Okay. Initiative. 1.
3. Well, we'll give it another go with Sturgis. Take him to fatigue 4. Here's the attempt on an assault on Jackson. It's a 5. What is Reno? He's a 6, so it does come off. And we'll now attempt it. McClellan, standing right there, shakes his head and says,
Where's the coffee, boys?
"No." Damn
Wow.
it. Okay, so the type's a +1. Tactical is going to be a -1. Ratio is going to be 6-3 is +1. Artillery is 3-3, so that's going to be a 0, which I believe is going to be a dice
Die
roll, I
roll.
believe.
Okay, so here's the artillery attempt. It's used.
It's used. So right now, artillery's -1. Again, hill to hill, so no modifier there. The final flank, I have all 6 hexes covered, but 1 comes off for a +3 final flank.
That does look correct, yes.
So basically, that's what the final result's going to be. Way to go, McClellan, loser. +3, here's my attack. It's a 4, so it's a 7.
All right, come on, 6. And it's a 3. Okay, so it's a +4, so you are going to get, let's see, I'm a 3. So luckily there's no manpower loss on that. It's just a DR. And you're a 7, so you fatigue out. Alright, now we need to, because he has to go into DR Jones, I believe, without any manpower loss, because that is a presence of a friendly, but I need to check. So this would be 4A. It's into an enemy Zoc, not enemy occupied. It's more distant from the active, and it's on the left side per the little marker there. If it's along a road, pike, or into a friendly occupied hex.
A friendly occupied hex.
So
Yep.
he can go in there.
So,
Always good, folks, to double check the retreat charts, which we so often just glom right over. So he goes into there for 1.
and sometimes apparently dig into the rule book.
Exactly. All right, 2 is farther away, and then 3 and 4 to there. All right, the hex is yours.
Do I want it? I think I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay.
For what's that's worth, which isn't a lot. Okay, knit 3.
1.
1. Franklin's going to activate Slocum and Couch to fatigue 2. There's their movement. They can go 3. Franklin will transfer to Slocum. He's just going to go 1, 2. And Couch is going to just slide over and join him. Initiative 6.
4.
Well, let's say this day is made for fighting. So Couch and Slocum are going to attempt an assault on DR Jones. Here's the attempt. Does not come off.
More tension.
Initiative 1.
6. Okay. Well, here comes Sims. He's a berserker. Here's his movement. 5. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Initiative 6.
4. Yours.
We'll go again. Movement 6. You go 1, 2, 3 to there. And initiative 3.
4. That's mine. You gonna fight your way through? Is that the plan? I figured you were going to chase down my little caveat and still pick up a cheap manpower loss.
No, I would have to pick up a lot of manpower losses. I don't know that that's going to be viable for me.
Let's see. Sumner will activate French for movement. Here's his movement. He can go 6 hexes. Or 6 movement points, I should say. Sumner will transfer 2 French. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. Unit 2.
It's a 1 for me.
Well, let's see if I can make Sims pay for his insolence here. We'll take Smith to fatigue 3 with Franklin.
Okay.
Here's his movement. Of course.
Well, you still got 6 to 1. I mean,
well, here's his. Could be less than
that's
that now
true.
because
That's
now he's got to
true.
roll for +1.
Insolence!
And of course he flips. Just the opposite of what I wanted. He goes to disorganization.
I will say that plan worked brilliantly.
Let's see. So now he's got his movement was 2. Jeez, that's just sad. Franklin will transfer to Smith.
Just point of order, and not that it matters because it's you and I and it's friendly. But normally you would, I believe, transfer the leader before you make the extended march roll. I think because you have to make that declaration before they start marching. But be that as it may, I knew what you were going to do because you wanted to make him pay for his incidents, as you said. Just for learning for folks out there, not for you, but for,
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I should have
because then
transfer the leader to the moving.
Right. In a tournament environment, people would
then,
go, "Oh, hey, well, why didn't you know?" Yeah.
Because if you're going to move like 3 of them,
right, you got to declare which one he's going with, right?
Going with before you do it. But yeah, I was moving him regardless, just because now I'm really aggravated.
I know you are.
I probably should just not even do this because.
Well, I honestly did. I was baiting you with that because that would pull you off of couch and slow.
Yeah. Let's see. So it's 9-2. It's a normal because I don't have enough for that. So it's 9-2 is +3. Franklin adds a tactical +4. It's hill to hill, so there's no terrain, and it's going to be a +1, which I think is going to be an attempt to die roll for you. Which again, this is
yes, it is. So let's see. Do we have?
May not be.
Does Sim set up his guns? He does not.
Okay, so it's a +4 final.
Yep, because it was 3 for ratio and 1 for leadership.
So it's a +4, 6.
Here's mine. Ooh.
Good grief.
Sims is the MVP.
Okay, that's probably going to cost me a manpower loss.
Let's see, 0 on 9.
And 1D.
It's 1D, and I get a 0D.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not worth doing.
Okay.
Knew it as soon as I rolled that 1. I should have just said, yeah.
Just let him go.
We'll just stop right there.
Right. All right, so you have hit the 10-point mark on losses now.
So increase fatigue. So where are we at here? Manpower
I'm
losses.
at 19, and you're at 10.
So I'm at +9.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Fighting on Elk Ridge has not been kind.
And let's see. I think I have an option there for a voluntary.
Yeah, you have a voluntary retreat.
Let's see. He could go up to 4. No, he'll just stay there. That's fine.
Okay. Unit 1.
3. I believe I'm going to activate DH Hill with Jackson. He is going to transfer 2. Oh, well, do movement 2, and he's going to transfer to him, and they'll just march in place. Initiative 5.
5. Yours again.
We are pretty bedraggled at the moment, so I'm going to pass.
Mansfield activate Williams Green. There's their movement. 3. Mansfield transfer green. Williams will do a min move to there. And Mansfield will go 1, 2, 3 to there. Initiative 1. It's going to be yours.
Okay. Jackson will activate AP Hill to 2. Here's his movement +2. It's 5. Here's his extended march. He's okay. Yeah, he's going to transfer. Oh, you know what? I did not declare. So he's going to just move him there. Initiative 3.
1. Yours again.
Jackson will attempt an assault on Mansfield with DH Hill. Here is the assault attempt. It does not come off. Oof. More tension! Alright. Initiative! 1.
2.
And that's why, that string right there is vitally important that you say, I am activating so-and-so with this one, and then transferring them, because I did not declare that, although, yeah. That was important because I needed him to go.
Oh, I see. I get it now.
Yeah.
I should have let you do that because you
No,
let
no,
me
that's
do that
fine.
down over
But
there.
but I wanna be a stickler about that because that's why it's like, oh, I rolled my extended march,
Yeah,
not even thinking about it because you and I are just so used to the convention that why wouldn't you? But you need to get in the habit of that when you're playing against strangers because they may not be, you know, they'll be like,
yeah,
yeah, you rolled wrong. Okay,
yeah.
so let's see what Mansfield can do about that.
Let's see. What do I want to try to do about it? Can march in place, throw up flanks refused. Could attempt to bring in some reinforcements. I'm going to try this. Hooker's going to activate Mead and Ricketts to fatigue 1. Here's their movement.
Here comes old Joe Hooker.
It's 3. Hooker's going to transfer to Ricketts. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. Initiative 6.
5.
Okay. Hooker's going to activate Mead and Ricketts again. Here's their movement. Go 5. Mead will go first. And Hooker will stay with Ricketts. So here's Mead's extended die roll +1. He's going to be okay. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. And here's Ricketts' extended die roll. He's going to lose a manpower. Yeah, let's do that. +3 attack on AP Hill from Hooker, and go back over the types of +1. The tactical is even, 3 to 3. There is no train. Artillery is 2 to 4 is a -2 on rolling is a -1, and the flank calculation is I have all 6 X's covered, but Briar's house comes off because it's on the other side of the river. So the final flank is a +3, and here's my attack roll.
Here's my defense roll.
So it's a +2.
+2. All right. A 9 is still 1 DR for me. You're
I'm
5.
a 5.
So just
No, a
a
D8
DA.
for me.
Right. Okay. I will lose a manpower. Brings it back to. Now I'm at 20. So still 10 difference. Death by paper cuts. So Flip loses those, and he's going to fall back 1, 2 to there.
We will not take that hex. Leave that hex open. I cleared this flank. Cleared Mansfield's flank, which is all that was about. Initiative 6.
6 as well.
That's yours.
The window is closing. I'm going to pass.
We'll take Sykes to fatigue 1. Here's his movement. 1 die. You can go 4. Just going to go 1, 2 to there. Initiative 2.
3. Again, I don't see anything of benefit for offensive at this point. I missed my shot with AP Hill, so I'm going to continue to pass.
Okay. Take Sykes to fatigue 2. Here's his movement. He's just going to do a min move to Williams. Initiative 4.
Okay. 5. He vexes me. I'll have Stewart activate Hampton and F. Lee. There's their movement. Extended march for F. Lee. He's okay. And Hampton, he is okay. All right. Initiative 3.
4. Okay. Well, that's shut down what I was looking at trying to do. So we will just start bringing people to the front or the rear. We might look at it. Porter will activate Humphreys and Morell. Here's their movement. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Knit. 2.
4. Jackson will attempt an assault on Mansfield.
You will.
He will. He's going to be untoward because you know what? Go big or go home at this point. So here's the assault attempt. Fails again. And it. 3.
6. Okay. Well, let's see. Should attempt to attack you first.
Oh, yes, of course. The double untoward. Yes, actually.
So yeah, Mansfield will attempt an assault on the Stewart Hampton Lee Jackson DHL Hex. Go to fatigue 3. Here's his attempt. To 1, that comes off. Mansfield is within radius of McClellan through Sykes. That's 3 hexes to McClellan. So we will attempt a grand assault. And it does come off. So Mansfield will, Sykes and Williams will join in. So the type will be a +1. The tactical will be a -1. The ratio now is 27 to
9.
9. So that's going to be
27 to 9.
Yeah. Ratio is +2. Artillery now I have 7, 10 guns to your
6.
6 +4 is no effect. For artillery, there's no terrain. The flank, so there's no flank. So the final is going to be a +2.
Okay.
Okay, +2 final. Here's the attack roll. 2, 4.
Here's defense. There's another 1. Mush for me.
So +3. It's going to cost me some manpower losses. I lose 2 manpower for that attack.
Oof. +3 on 9 is 1, so it's just a net 1. Okay. So
I pick up 2 fatigues. 2 fatigues. So no one's disorganized, at least. I'll take the manpower off of Sykes.
okay. I will take it off of F. Lee.
But nobody gets disorganized, which is crucial.
I will just fall back to Sharpsburg.
9th, 12th Corps will move into that hex. Sykes will stay where he is. Okay. Initiative 6.
4.
Okay. Porter will take Morel. And Humphreys to fatigue 2. Humphreys will need an extend die roll. His movement 4. Porter will stay with Morel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Humphreys extend die roll. And he's a 6. +1 is 7. 14, I think, is going to be probably 2 manpower losses. Yep, 2 manpower losses. And he's just going to follow behind. Initiative 4.
3.
I'm not going to bother moving all those little guys that are in the rear. I don't think it matters at this point. So I'm okay to pass.
And I am okay to pass as well. Very, very good day for the Union. Day 5 is done. So we're hitting recover and moving on to turn 6. Now, that begs the question. There are our viewers out there, Holger being one of them, who likes us to play to the bitter, heartbreaking end. But let's have a reality check, which I always love to do right before the fourth quarter. You know, they always do that with the color commentators. It looks really, really bad. I don't have a lot of credits in my. I've got so many debits, and you've got all the credits. I'm okay with just foregoing this and calling this at least a Union substantive because I think if we played it out, you would continue to get even more manpower losses. You have offset the -12. You're within 2 of Sharpsburg now with Mansfield and Rodman. So that's off the board. If we look at manpower losses, you've got 12, I've got 21, so it is a +9 in your favor. You've got that. So you're looking at 9 -4, so you're sitting at a 5 right now.
Which is a marginal victory.
But again, I think you would still, if we were to play, if we do play it out, I mean, it's certainly up to you if you'd like to see how well you can do. If we do turn 6, you'll keep tightening the noose, and you're going to get, I think, at least adjacent to Sharpsburg, which is also considerable bonus points too. So I think if I concede right here, I'm safe with saying this is at least a Union substantive, if not a decisive, because I think you have so many active units that are just gonna keep pushing this critical mass around Sharpsburg, which is the way this scenario always plays out, no matter how you set it up. I just think I've had too many morale checks that have failed for me with the AP Hill thing, the 2 failed attacks by Jackson. Jackson failed 2 assault
Yeah,
attempts. I mean,
yeah.
um, yeah, I don't think we need to play out turn 6, and plus, from an editing standpoint, because it is self-serving here, we're at an hour 20, and this is great because I think we got a lot of bang for our buck in this one. So, what say you, sir?
Yeah, I don't, I passed because I didn't want to spend all the time moving all
Right,
those little units
exactly.
around. Yeah, I don't think there's much you can do at this point. I can continue to consolidate. I mean, you're not going to be able to drive me away from 2 hexes
Exactly.
away.
There's no way I'm going to overcome 9 points of manpower losses to get them back without causing more to myself. Just that's the true
Yeah.
reality check of this. That's knowing the system. I've been nigh unable to get any flanks, and when I sneak up on a flank, what happens? That was a mental screw up. I with the AP Hill thing, um, to attack on the
It's a
march.
good rules check
It
to
is.
keep in
It
mind.
is,
It
and
really
I
is
really
because,
want to print that on people because when you play this with other people, again, Roger and I have this great relationship after 2 years, where he knows and I know that that was his intent. So I'm not, but for you, when you do that, there is that order of operations. You declare a movement, then the leader will make his move if he wishes, because that comes before it. And then as soon as you make that first move, you have to do your extended march check. So I did not do that for AP Hill, and that's why I didn't want to do that. Then I lost the initiative game. And then the 2
yeah,
subsequent, I was like, I cannot shut Mansfield down. And you brought all those. You got the one time McClellan's like, oh, sure, we're winning? Sure, go, Grand Assault, go ahead. What the hell?
yeah. But that has come up when we are moving multiple units and we are trying to set up a
Yeah.
flank. And which guy am I going to use to set up the flank
Yeah,
with? What you want
that was great
and to attack
with
with?
Hooker.
And
Hooker got in there
yeah,
and he thumped him.
but I could have said, okay, I'm going to roll my extend march rolls, and now I'll choose the
Exactly.
guy that doesn't
Exactly.
flip,
That does look a little
and
sketchy.
that's where it comes up
Right.
when you're playing somebody, and it can be kind
Right.
of wrong. But yeah, this was a lot of combat today. People, I think, who want to see blood, they're going to see a
Oh,
lot of
yes.
bodies
Yes.
all over Elk Ridge. You fought great delaying action there, but this is just the Union just has such an edge in manpower as it was historically, and that was kind of how I wanted to play this out. Was okay. McCullen historically gets a lot of grief for not pushing through the passes, and Franklin gets a lot of grief for not pushing to Harper's Ferry, and I wanted to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked. I mean, that was the right thing to do. I was able to relieve Harper's Ferry in quotes for supply for a turn, which put pressure on you to make the assault,
Right.
which, as you pointed out, maybe tilts the game in the wrong direction.
I left at least 8 points on the table.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe that's too big of a price to pay for waiting for a surrender. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the other, to specifically to your point about not overmarching the Union, which is the big challenge for the Union player in any game, but you've got such large divisions here that the double-edged sword is, yes, you want to get them up there, and you, I think, rested them at exactly the right time. And then as we got into turns 4 and 5, I'm already fatigued. I'm already
yeah,
disorganized. Even your disorganized divisions are on par with 2-1 or 3-1 on manpower. So you were still in a comfortable position that I can make an attack here and still do even more damage to that smaller
yeah,
unit.
yeah. I wanted to keep you fatigued
Yeah, and
and
you
as
did a
exhausted
great
as
job with
possible
that. Oh yeah.
because of that, because I didn't want you to recover. They could use another leader
Yeah.
on the Confederate side. Only having Lee, and I mean, they're great, Longstreet and Jackson are great, but
But
you got a huge front to
they're
cover.
concentrated exactly, and they have to kind of stay toward the center, and they've got this very wide flank to monitor. I think the big turning point for this was after I took Harper's Ferry, and then I even comically said, "Well, now what?" Uh, then you told me what. You're like, "Well, I'm going to go and I'm going to march up Pleasant Valley," and you came north from there, and you just started piece by piece, just taken. You took the units in Crampton's, they were trapped and then gone,
Oh,
and then you just started dismantling as you came up over Elk Ridge. And I saw that at that point at the end of turn 4, and I was like, I don't think this is going to happen, boys, because there's no way. I mean, it was very thin to try to keep you. I was singeing so much on keeping you two away, but that front was just so weak all the way across that there was no way that once you brought all the big boys in and stacked them up,
yeah.
and once Rodman and the Ninth Corps got into exactly that point at Porter, I was like, well, it's all downhill from here. I was really surprised that you took McClellan up there and I think you were going for more manpower just to pad it up, but you wanted to teach Jackson a lesson. That was the only thing that I would not have done, even though you had
Oh,
essentially a full flank, but I had a really good retreat path, so I don't.
yeah. I was trying to. It was one of those things where I got committed to it
Yeah,
in my head, and you actually took out the. Ultimately, I was going to, was to get somebody right where Dr. Jones was,
yeah, right.
but you got up in there, and then well, yeah, I was hoping to get some more manpower and kind of clear that ridge, and then. But anyway, I think this is a fascinating
Oh, it
scenario.
is.
Again, I consider my playing in the Rebel was a win only in the sense that I met the victory point conditions, but it was a loss strategically because you had me completely surrounded.
Right.
If there had been one more day, it would have been the surrender at Sharpsburg.
Well,
Because they had nowhere to go.
looking
They
at
weren't
this,
going to be able to fight their way out of it.
my only shining moment today, I felt, was Sims. Sims doing in there just
Oh,
baiting the hook, and you took the bait,
yeah, that was
and it worked out. Even, I mean, it was like, oh, he rolled a 1. Oh, that's good. Oh, he flipped.
yeah. As
Oh,
soon as I
that's
rolled that
good.
one, it should have been okay.
Yeah,
Just stop
right,
because it's just stop.
right.
But there's no point.
Now, if that had
But
happened where we were 2 manpower difference, that would have been a huge backbreaker for the Union because
yeah,
But once you were comfortably up by 10 manpower, that was just well, that's unfortunate.
yeah. That was kind of how I was looking at it, which is a sad way to think about. Definitely want to get the scenario another try. I feel like there's a tremendous amount of options here.
Well, I'm not going to say
Just
we inspired Alberto and the Spaniards and their Great Campaigns Club, but I saw, like I said, his pictures, and I was like, hey! And he's going through the same kind of, mental headache and gymnastics with Harper's Ferry right now. So, but you got to pull the levers, especially with the scenario. This is truly a sandbox. So, folks, if you're fortunate enough to have Roads to Gettysburg 2 with Here Come the Rebels 2 in it, by all means, run, don't walk. Set up 3 cigars and enjoy these 6 turns because it is an incredible what if scenario. I mean, every historical war game starts you here, and then the first die roll, as they say, is, you know, alternate history. But this one truly is so fascinating. Roger, you coined it best. It really is because while the moving pieces all seem to gel similarly, they get there in different ways, and that's what's so much fun about it.
indeed,
Indeed,
very
indeed.
great, great fun. And you throw in the six
Oh
options
yeah, those
to
variants are
begin
great.
with. Um,
But well, then we will move on from here. What is I think the next one is they give you a little breather, right? It's is it just a cavalry one? Is that the Baltimore?
it's the Baltimore raid,
Okay, so
yeah. So
that's
this will be
we could play that back to
that'll
back,
be a
and
quick one for us.
yeah, it's 7 turns, but I
Yeah,
think we could probably 2 of
and
them back to back, just like we did with On to Richmond, where we had the.
it's going to be Stuart slicing and
That's
dicing. It
right.
looks
We
like.
always gonna have a Stuart cavalry one. We will finish this officially now with a Union at least substantive plus. So, Roger, thank you for a great game. And, folks, thank you
Oh, you're
for
welcome. Thank you.
watching. We hope you've enjoyed this. Take a moment there. I'm showing you the weekly admonition to please click the like and subscribe. If you stumbled across this channel, welcome, hello, and go back. We got a lot of playlists. I'd organize them by the different modules that we do, and not only great campaigns here, but I've got some other games in different series that I'm going through. We are glad to have you here. So come on back next time for our horse opera with the Baltimore Raid. Roger, I will see you here next Sunday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Sure.
Patrick.
Take care.